Previously on All About Parvin.
Most of us, I think most of us citizens out here think, well, geez, you know, we've got laws, we've got people we can depend on. We should be able to go back to those people and say, look, this is outrageous. These people are breaking the law.
Why he had that meeting. I think maybe it was to get a feel for us, and it didn't seem like he was working. He didn't say, oh, well, I will try to give weekends off because I totally understand you guys don't want blood. There was no compassion or empathy. I heard nothing except for excuses and, you know, the opposite of, oh, poor us, and this is business, this is how business is. And then when he went into the law, which was so ridiculous. This is the law. It's like, really? You just had a $700,000 fine because you don't follow the law? McDougal's are known for not following the law, and you're giving us the law?
2 days before the meeting was to take place, there was an article in the paper about one of his LLCs in Pilot Rock, Oregon. He owned a garbage dump there, and the thing's caught on fire 4 times, supposedly dissolved the LLC, and just left this thing in the middle of Pilot Rock.
And I think in some ways my dad kind of thrives on stress, and you know, so he gets really worked up about this and upset, and he kind of gets obsessed over it, you know, in a good way.
He's just got fined something like, I think it was just under $800,000. which they say the DEQ probably will not be able to collect because they'll just refuse to pay it and fight it for years and years, and they'll have to take it to court. And so if that's in the paper 2 days before this guy is going to come out and talk to the community, what's there to talk about?
Yeah, he's always been very passionate. That's the first word that I would use to describe him, probably, is just passionate about everything he does. I'm glad that he is passionate about this issue, because I think it'll help.
When I go by Baltimore, ain't no carpet on the floor. Come along and go with me, must get back to Tennessee. Green, green, a rocky road, promenade and green. Tell me who you love, tell me who you love. Blue jay pole, a 4-horse plow. Tell me, sparrow, why can't you? 'Cause my legs so little and long, they might just get broken too. Green, green, a rocky road, promenade and green. Tell me who you love, tell me who you love. Dear Miss Minnie, your name been called, and take a seat beside the wall. Give her a kiss and let her go. She'll never sit back.
Second highest unemployment rate at 10.7%. 11%, followed by Kearney County at 10.5%, and Kirk County was at fourth highest with 10.2%. Last year, Greene County's August 2013 unemployment rate was 11.8%.
So you lived in Pile Rock for a while.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Tell me a little bit about Pile Rock.
Well, it's they got a good school system. They got a good sports team. Everybody, the whole town turns out for their sports, and it's a good place to raise your kids.
You know Greg Demers?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yeah, yeah, he's all right. I don't know him that well, but I know who he is and everything else.
You've heard of the McDougal brothers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I have.
Yeah. Any opinions?
Oh, they're all right, I guess. I guess. I'm in a different world than they are.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm a working world.
Sounds like the fans need a little more help making some noise for the boys in blue. So how about you guys make some noise down there and help the defense out? Beat number 12.
So have you guys grown up around here? Or?
Lived here my whole life.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do your parents do?
Work in Pendleton. There's not many jobs out here.
No?
No, not at all, actually.
You know about this 20-acre landfill? It sort of always catches on fire around here?
Oh, yeah.
Catches on fire often.
Yeah.
Does it get the town very smoky at all? Or?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Covers the town.
Well, usually just like on that side.
So what do you guys know anything about the mayor around here? The mayor?
Virginia?
Yeah.
She makes some good cakes.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
She makes and they're huge. She makes huge cakes.
Yeah.
Does she make chocolate cake?
Chocolate on chocolate.
She makes any cake.
Racks on racks.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Chocolate cake.
Oh!
Yes!
Oh! That was your reception.
Well, I'm sure that when that pile was started, that the powers that be had no idea what kind of a hazard they were starting.
Well, I can remember it wasn't covered up like it was. It was just pile of wood and that kind of stuff when it was first here. It was just a pile of wood, and they kept adding to it, and then finally the ground kind of grew over it.
I wondered, we was talking about this the other day, I wonder how deep that thing is. Got to be 50, 60 foot deep down to the just to the ground. Yeah. And then over the years, it's probably burnt down in below, other than the ground surface.
We don't know what's in that landfill. I've been told over the years that there were things put in there that I certainly can't validate. And I've talked to people who supposedly know what was put in there, and they've lost their memories when it comes to testifying and verifying that.
And it continues to burn deep inside of it and burns out from the inside out, creating who knows what inside in the way of an open space inside that could collapse. If people are playing or walking across it, they really should not do that, because they could disappear and disappear down into an area that's still burning, and how to get them out could be a serious problem.
Because of the vents that we've found over the years, we don't allow firefighters out on the hillside. We don't drive out on the hillside either. We fight this fire from the perimeter.
Is there any way of knowing how big those vents are, how wide or deep? Or?
No, we've just found them in the past, and so we don't allow our firefighters to go out because of the danger of stepping in a hole and being burned.
What do you think of that landfill over there?
Yeah, I suppose if you could keep it from catching on fire, it might be an improvement.
Just 30 times in the last 3.5 years.
Is that right? 30
times. It's 130 feet from my property line to the landfill. 130 feet. So when it burned, the only thing that saved us, we had a little breeze from the north. If we'd have had a wind from the north, we'd have been in deep, deep trouble. When you looked at it this morning, did you find the gate open?
Yes.
Okay, the gate's supposed to be locked. Did you see any no trespassing signs on the property?
There don't seem to be any no trespassing signs, no warning signs of any kind.
And not only that, but the chief ran some kids off there about a month ago.
You know, there are kids that live in these houses down here, so yeah, there's really nothing keeping them out of, you know, walking in there.
Currently, I think the best hope right at this point is that the DEQ will force the current owners into a position of cleaning it up. And I think that comes down largely to really a business decision on their part, which is going to cost them less money. Will it cost them less money to pay a fine, or will it cost them less money to clean it up?
It's a matter of corporate responsibility. Will they take it, or will they be forced to take it, or does DEQ have enough backbone to make them take it? And I'm kind of from the old school. I think if I were a judge, I'd be a hanging judge. They'd take it.
Nothing seems to faze this company. Nothing. $790,000 fine, you would think, would jerk somebody sideways real quick. It hasn't.
One of the things that we found in Dexter that was really hard to keep track of is you have the McDougall brothers, large corporation, operating in several states, millions of dollars at their disposal. Then you have all these LLCs that branch off of that. And it's awfully hard to keep track of the difference between Willamette Water Company and Wiley Mountain and this one and this one. And, you know, it's like, they sound like different entities, but when you trace it back, it's all the same people involved.
McDougall was the one that had the money that bought the mill originally. And McDougall's corporation is called Leland, and his brother's corporation is Mount Wiley, Wiley Mountain. And they owned that piece of property for 3.5 years after that permit was renewed.
I'm curious about one thing here, because it was mentioned in the Register Guard article on Pilot Rock, is the appeals process. If they lose this next round, they apparently could appeal it, and that could take years to be resolved.
That's one of the tough things, is that it can go on and on in the appeal process.
But you know, one of the things that the county commissioner said when we met with him, he said, well, you know, John, everybody is entitled to due process. And they are entitled to due process. But due process, there's an end to due process. Once you follow it all the way through, there's an end to it. Then somebody's going to have to pay up.
One of the big differences, though, between you and I and people like this is the number of attorneys we can afford, the number of law firms that we can afford to defend us for a 10-year period of time. And you know,
they do what they're told, but do they really believe it? I mean, how could a righteous person who is supposed to uphold the law feel that that's right? Now, they'll do it for a fee and get paid for it, but do they really think deep down in their heart that it's right? And sooner or later, they're going to have to account for that. You know, I haven't run across very many people, I can't think of any, that would take Demers' side in this matter. Right's right and wrong's wrong, and gray's not an option. And these guys want to play in the gray area. I'm sorry, that ain't quite right.
We teach our children responsibility. We try and practice responsibility. And we expect the same kind of responsibility out of businesses and to operate that same way. And this particular business took over. It wasn't their creation, it was already there when they got there. But due diligence would say that they should have checked that out, and I'm positive they knew what they were buying when they bought it. And now it's their responsibility to chin up to it and take care of it.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yep, it's good to meet you.
Look forward to seeing it from another angle.
All right. Not me.
Yeah. But I've seen some of the shenanigans that have gone on with these guys, and for me, it's more of an ethical issue, more of an issue of responsibility. I think that's what you're dealing with here.
I'd just like to thank you guys for coming to Pilot Rock and doing a documentary. I truly hope it helps your cause in Dexter and my cause in Pilot Rock.
John, we're both on the same page, man, and it's been a real pleasure to talk to somebody that is as well-spoken as you and somebody that's done their homework.
Well, thank you for those kind words, but the years are going by and I used to be a lot smarter than I am now, but thank you anyway.
Well, no, it's been a real pleasure.
Maybe we just need to get it out, bag it up, and send it to California for their gardens.
Their reputation precedes them a lot of places.
Oh, tell me, baby, tell me your love. Won't you tell me your love? Tell me, honey, tell me your love. You better tell me your love.
Next time on All About Parvin.
But then I came back and got into politics.
Why'd you get into politics?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, I had somebody ask me that the other day. I see these things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
These horrible, terrible things that people do. Like, for example, what they're doing to Parvin Butte.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, they got to be stopped. And I got to try to stop them.